The silence of the cosmos, the Fermi Paradox. Look up. The sky is a vault of glittering possibilities. Each star a sun, each sun a system, each system a chance. Yet no signals, no messages, no greetings. Just a great, echoing silence. This eerie quiet is known as the Fermi Paradox. Enrico Fermi asked a simple question: where is everybody? The universe should be teeming with intelligent life. There are more stars than grains of sand on Earth, and many of them are billions of years older than our sun. Advanced civilizations should have had enough time to rise, explore, colonize, and yet we hear nothing. Radio silence. The paradox lies in the mismatch between the likelihood of life and our complete lack of contact with it. Perhaps intelligent life destroys itself, nuclear wars, environmental collapse, AI run amok, or maybe something else erases them. A cosmic filter that no species survives. Or maybe they're here, but hiding, watching. Or maybe we're in a simulation and they never existed to begin with. Take a moment to reflect on this. What if the silence isn't empty, but deliberate? But sometimes, the loudest silence isn't in the stars, but in our own minds as we try to answer, who am I, really? You are not you, the ship of Theseus. You are not the same person you were a decade ago. Not physically, not mentally. Every atom has changed. And yet, you still call yourself you. But what if that self is just a placeholder? The ship of Theseus asks, if you replace every part of a ship, is it still the same ship? Replace every cell in your body, every memory in your mind. Is it still the same self? You regenerate constantly. Memories are flawed. Personality shifts. So what stays? We believe in a core identity, a continuous self. But science and philosophy suggest we are constantly reconstructed illusions, narratives stitched together to feel whole. We're less like solid objects, more like waves, always moving, never fixed. Perhaps your self is just a story told by the brain to keep going. When memory fades, or when brain injury alters personality, who are you then? Is identity just an echo of habit? If you are just a story, then who writes it? Are you truly making choices, or merely following a script? Who's driving? The illusion of free will. We feel like agents of our own lives, choosing, deciding, acting. But what if every decision you make was already set in motion long before you were aware of it? Studies show our brains decide before we consciously do. Electrical activity can predict your choices before you're aware of making them. Our actions stem from biology, culture, childhood experiences, variables we never chose. Free will, under this lens, is just the sensation of choice, not its reality. If free will is an illusion, then guilt, pride, and regret are constructs too. What we do may not be ours in the way we believe. The self becomes a passive observer, a ghost riding neural machinery. But maybe that isn't cause for despair. Maybe it frees us from blame, from shame. Maybe the self is not the captain, but the sky that watches the waves. Take a moment and let go of control. Feel what remains. But what if the machine you're riding, the world itself, isn't real at all? Waking in a dream, the simulation hypothesis. This could be a dream. A programmed landscape. A playground of code. What if everything you see, feel, remember was built by someone or something? If technology progresses, any advanced species could simulate entire universes with sentient minds inside. The probability that we are in the one real base reality shrinks compared to all the possible simulations. Quantum mechanics, with its probabilistic nature, almost feels like a rendering engine. Reality flickers when we observe it, just like a simulation responding to input. If we are simulated, what rules bind our existence? Do the simulators watch us? Can we break free? Or are we NPCs with no player? Even death becomes uncertain, merely a system shut down. reality loses its firmness. Time, space, identity, all pixels and scripts. Still, even in fiction, we find meaning. Even simulated sunsets are beautiful. But even the most beautiful simulations must end. And when they do, we face the oldest fear of all. The void awaits, the fear of non-existence. What happens when it all stops? Not dreams, not afterlives, just nothing, an endless absence. Not blackness, not silence, just the lack of being. Before you were born, you didn't exist. After you die, the same absence awaits. This isn't fear of pain, but fear of erasure, of returning to the state before time touched you. Philosophers call it non-being. Some call it peace. Others call it terror. We invent afterlives to avoid confronting the void. But if there is truly nothing, then even fear dissolves. You won't know you're gone. You won't know you were. And yet, we still fear it. Perhaps because we cannot imagine not imagining. The mind resists its own end. Still, in this fleeting existence, we find beauty. And maybe that's enough. Take one last breath. You are stardust that learned to think. A question wrapped in flesh. A momentary glimmer. Sleep now, not in fear, but in awe. For even our deepest fears are proof that we exist. Sleep well.